Today we have received some more insight into our transfer plans between now and the end of the window. We are going to cover this in today's video, whilst of course going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic's interest in Romanian striker Luis Munteanu has taken another twist, with fresh reports from his homeland suggesting unrest behind the scenes at CFR Cluj. The 23-year-old forward, previously linked with a move to Glasgow, is understood to have been the subject of a rejected offer from the Scottish champions earlier this summer. Since then, his situation in Romania has grown more complicated, potentially reopening the door for a renewed approach. Cluj boss Dan Petrescu had publicly raised doubts over Munteanu's mindset ahead of a European qualifier against Lugano, admitting he'd need to assess whether the striker was mentally prepared for the challenge. Despite those concerns, he did feature across both legs and has continued to be involved domestically, including games against Universitatea Craiova and FC Argeș. However, his absence from Thursday's second leg against Braga in the Europa League has reignited speculation. While Petrescu claimed Munteanu was out through injury, local reports point to a more contentious issue involving unpaid bonuses. IAM sport journalist Ramus Raureanu said, "He was upset because he hadn't received some money promised when signing the contract, approximately €200,000. I don't know if he's received the money in the meantime, but from his behaviour it seems like he hasn't." With the situation appearing far from resolved, Celtic may yet revisit their interest. The ongoing standoff between Munteanu and Cluj adds a layer of uncertainty, but also potential opportunity, depending on how relations develop in the coming days. If tensions escalate, Cluj may be forced to reconsider their position, particularly if the player pushes for a move. For Celtic, already scouring the market for more firepower, the unrest could prompt a fresh inquiry as Brendan Rodgers looks to strengthen ahead of a demanding campaign. Now for the main story, as Celtic have reportedly made Danish winger Jacob Bruun their top transfer priority as the club look to complete their summer business ahead of the Champions League playoff window. Brendan Rodgers has been targeting wide reinforcements since the start of the window, with multiple names under consideration. However, journalist Pete O'Rourke reports that Bruun is firmly at the top of the list. With the club making a sustained effort to land the go-ahead Eagles attacker, Celtic have already submitted several bids for the 21-year-old, who enjoyed a strong 2024-25 campaign in the Eredivisie, scoring 10 goals and playing a key role in his side's KNVB Cup win. Go-ahead Eagles are holding firm on their valuation, complicating negotiations as the end of the window draws closer. Michel-Ange Balikwisha remains a strong alternative, and a player the club have tracked for over a year. But according to O'Rourke, Celtic will only move on the Belgian international if their pursuit of Bruun collapses completely. He said, "Celtic are pursuing a deal for Jacob Bruun from Go-Ahead Eagles. He has been the top target for them this summer and they've had several bids turned down for him. So if they can't agree a deal for him, they could return for Balikwisha. Brendan Rodgers wants to bring in a winger. It's been a key position for him this summer, so he'll be hopeful they can get a deal over the line." Nicholas Kuhn has already departed for Como this summer, and Rodgers remains keen to add final attacking depth before the league campaign settles and European competition takes hold. With key players leaving in recent months, including Kyogo Furuhashi and Kuhn, the urgency to bring in another wide option has grown. Bruun is viewed as a player who ticks all the boxes. Technically sharp, dangerous in the final third, and with plenty of development ahead. The 21-year-old is under contract until 2027, and with Odense due a 25% sell-on clause, Go-Ahead Eagles are reportedly demanding a fee in the region of £5 to £7 million. Balikwisha, who remains at Royal Antwerp, is still in the frame should Celtic be forced to look elsewhere. He's entering the final year of his deal and would be more affordable. But the consistent message from inside the club is clear. Bruun is the priority. Celtic now face a race against the clock to get the deal done, with Rodgers intent on seeing his top targets signed before the month is out. In other news, Hugh Keevins has cast doubt on Celtic's European credentials with a blunt assessment of the squad's current firepower. The veteran pundit singled out the front line as a major weakness, claiming Brendan Rodgers is heading into the Kairat Almaty tie without the tools to do serious damage up front. The criticism comes as Celtic continue without Nicholas Kuhn and Kyogo Furuhashi. With no replacements yet signed, the front line looks noticeably light. Both players were expected to play key roles this season, but their exits have left Rodgers short of options going into a crucial European tie. Still, Keevan's analysis may be painting too bleak a picture. While the squad undoubtedly needs attacking reinforcements before the transfer window closes, there remains enough quality to get the job done against Kairat over two legs. The likes of Dyson Maida and Kieran Tierney should offer more than enough to dominate possession and create chances at Parkhead. But the message is clear: unless Celtic act in the market, the deeper they go in Europe, the more exposed they'll become. First, here's exactly what Keevans had to say about the current state of play. He said, "The one area of the side where Celtic are seriously in trouble is up front. They have no firepower. I think they will need a very good lead from Parkhead." Keevans' take won't go down well, but he's right to point out Celtic look short up front. With Kuhn and Kyogo both gone, and no clear replacement brought in, Rodgers is light on natural options through the middle. There's no obvious backup striker, and that leaves little room for error in the final third. Even so, Celtic should still have enough to get past Kairat. These qualifiers are about results, not perfect performances. With the first leg at home, they should have the control and attacking threat from midfield to take care of the tie. But Keevan's comments point to a bigger concern. If Celtic want to go further in Europe this season, they can't just hope someone steps up. They need new signings. It's not only about replacing names like Kyogo, it's about building a squad with proper depth. Supporters will want to see action in the transfer market, and rightly so. Getting past Kairat would be expected, but if the club has bigger goals, they'll need more cutting edge to get there. In other news, Andy Walker believes a move to bring Jamie Vardy to Celtic this summer is entirely feasible, insisting there would be no issue in securing a deal if the club decide to go down that route. The 38-year-old has been linked with a reunion with Rodgers, who previously managed him at Leicester City. While Vardy won the Premier League under Claudio Ranieri, it was under Rodgers that he lifted the FA Cup and continued to deliver consistently in the English top flight. With Celtic still in the market for another striker following Kyogo's departure, Vardy's name continues to surface. Despite his age, Walker is confident the former England international could still bring value to the squad. The former Celtic striker backed the idea of the move, though stopped short of saying it was something the club were actively pursuing. He said, "Well, you would imagine there wouldn't be a problem doing a deal at that. He would know the player, his ability, his fitness levels. I know he's 38, but I'm sure you could get another season out of him if he is still really fit, well and sharp. No one would know that better than Rodgers." Walker's comments have added to the speculation over where Vardy could end up next, with the experienced striker still without a club after leaving Leicester at the end of last season. Celtic are still looking to add another forward, especially with the Champions League qualifiers approaching and limited options through the middle. Rodgers hasn't said much about any move for Vardy, but their time together at Leicester, where they won the FA Cup, and Vardy claimed the Golden Boot, shows they know each other well. If Celtic decide to move for him, Vardy's experience, eye for goal and understanding of Rodgers' system could make him a smart short-term signing. What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comments section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.